CNN just posted an article that read, the number of people age 75 that will still need to work will double in the next decade. They say the main reasons are because people aren't saving or aren't saving enough when it comes to retirement. So because of that, I thought today I would make a video talking about at least 3 different retirement accounts that you can get, also the pros and cons of each, and offering a little insight if you're used to living a certain lifestyle and want to have a comfortable retirement that won't have you working until the age of 75. If that sounds good to you, then hit that like button and I'll get started. The first account I want to talk about is the 401k or the 403b, depending on what industry you're in. This is a tax advantage retirement savings plan offered through your employer. Through this plan, your company offers you access to a set of different mutual funds and you can contribute to it. On your end, you get to pick and choose throughout these mutual funds and you decide the percent of your income that's coming from your paycheck that you will use to fund this account. Now, there are 2 main reasons why a 401k is a good plan to be in. 1, it allows you to set aside a portion of your income to save for retirement before paying taxes on it. Number 2, because of the employer match. Most employers would match the amount of money that you put into your 401k or your 403b. So for example, if you put in money like say $5,000 for the year, your company will match up to $5,000. That is free money and will help you grow your retirement savings a lot faster. Now, although the 401k or the 403b is a great retirement savings account, there are some limitations when it comes to it. Number 1, you are limited by the amount of mutual funds that you can invest in, right? Because the company has access to the funds and they only show you a certain amount of funds that you can have access to. So therefore, you kind of basically are losing some control about where you want to put your money when it comes to these funds. Number 2, your company most likely has a custodian that's in charge of handling the assets and the bookkeeping for this type of fund. Now, the custodian is just basically a middleman when it comes to these accounts, but because they are a middleman providing a service, they are going to require a fee. Now, some of these fees are actually paid by the employer, but a lot of these fees are actually paid by the employees themselves. These fees from the custodian are on top of the fees that you're paying for just being in the mutual funds themselves. Although the percentage of fees that you might be paying to the custodian and also the mutual fund may be small, they will eat into your savings over time. Think of fees as negative returns on your money. So with that, when we're trying to invest for retirement or trying to invest in general, we want to lower the fees whenever we can. But that's kind of unavoidable when you're dealing with a 401k account. Number 3, there is a limit to how much you can contribute to your 401k on a yearly basis. Now, as of 2024, the limit is $23,000 a year. That might seem like a lot, but if depending on when you actually started investing in your 401k, you might need to catch up and you might need to start investing more. So just being able to put in $23,000 a year might not lead to you just having the comfortable retirement that you want. So you have to take these limitations into account when you're planning for your retirement, okay? However, even with those limitations, I still believe it's a good idea to be in your employer retirement account because guess what? Most employers, especially in the private sector, no longer offer pensions. So the only way to get your employer's help when it comes to retirement and also making it very easy for you to start planning and actually saving for retirement is to use this type of account. It's an easy way to get a tax advantage account. It's an easy way to set some money aside just by taking it out of your paycheck without you even seeing it. Also, it's an easy way to get your employer's help to help you grow your retirement savings while still working. The next retirement account I want to speak about is the Roth IRA. This is an account that you open up outside your employer's account and you put after-tax money in it. What's good about this account is that you get to decide what you invest in and you have access to a lot of options based on the brokerage company that you choose. So you're going to have more options than you would in your employer's account. Also, since the money you're putting in this account has already been taxed, this money will grow tax-free and you could take the money you put into this account, not the earnings you make on it, but the money you actually put in and contribute to this account, you could take it out without being taxed and without being penalized anytime you want. Since the Roth IRA is one that you have complete control over and is outside your employer, you have to remember that whatever money you put into the account, you have to invest it. I've heard stories and I know people who have just put the money into Roth IRA account without actually investing it. If you do that, it just becomes the same as a savings account and it actually defeats the purpose. So when you open up a Roth IRA account, you have to invest the money that you actually put into it. You cannot let it stay there and just sit in the account. Now, one of the limitations you have with the Roth IRA account is that the account can only be funded with earned income. So after tax income, but also it has to be earned income. That means income coming from wages, salaries, or tips. Now, another limitation on top of this is that there is a limit as to how much you could put into the account on a yearly basis, which is about $7,000 as of today. Now, another limitation when it comes to this account is that there is also an income limit in terms of the amount of money you can make and be able to contribute this account. As of 2024, if you're a single individual and you want to contribute to a Roth IRA account, you cannot make over $161,000 a year. And when it comes for married couples, you cannot contribute directly to a Roth IRA account if you make over $240,000 a year with a combined income. So not only is there an income limitation in terms of the cap on the amount of money you can make and be able to contribute to a Roth IRA, there's also a yearly limit on how much you can actually contribute if you fall below the actual salary limit. But all of that money that you put in will also have to be earned income. So remember the three main limitations you have when it comes to a Roth IRA account. The next retirement account I want to talk about is actually an HSA, which is not based on the amount of income you make, but based on the health plan you actually choose. HSA stands for Health Savings Account. The main purpose for a health savings account is to allow you to set aside pre-tax money for medical expenses. However, what's interesting about an HSA, the health savings account, is that it's very similar to a Roth IRA, meaning you can put this money into an account and then you can invest it. On top of that, this is not a use it or lose it medical expense account like you would have with a FSA, which is a flexible spending account. With the HSA, a health savings account, you can decide to use part of the money that you put aside for medical expenses for that year, or you could decide not to use any of the money at all. If you do that, you will not lose it. The money that you put in that account for that year will stay there, and you can do it on a yearly basis and continue to let that account grow. Some people treat the HSA like another retirement account because of this benefit and also other features. Some of the features that make this a very good retirement account is that, one, the earnings that you make in this account are not taxed. They are tax-free. Two, you could take the money out for qualified medical expenses without being taxed. Again, tax-free. Three, after the age of 65, you could take the money out of this account, including earnings and also what you contributed to it, for anything that you want and only be taxed. If it's not used for medical expenses, you're only going to be taxed at the tax rate that you have when you're 65 or older. So if you don't use this account for medical expenses and you allow this account to keep growing, this can turn into a little bit of a nice nest egg. Now, although the HSA sounds like a great plan, there are some limitations when it comes to it. One, you can only have an HSA if you have a high deductible health plan. You cannot have it if you have a regular health care plan or if you have one that's allowing you to have an FSA, so a flexible spending account. If you have a flexible spending account on top of your health care plan, you cannot have HSA. Two, when it comes to high deductible plans, they're not for everyone. If you find yourself in a doctor's office a lot, then you're going to be having a high deductible if you choose a plan where you can have an HSA. Now, although it's a great savings plan, if you're going to use it to actually use it for medical expenses, then you kind of defeat the purpose when it comes to retirement, okay? That's because, remember, the power of having an HSA lies in the fact that you don't touch it. That's the only way you can really use it for retirement purposes. If you find yourself always tapping into it to pay for medical expenses, then yes, you will get some tax benefit off of it, and you also putting that money in before taxes. So it's actually lowering the cost of the expenses that you're going to pay for medical. But the way to use it for retirement is to actually let that account sit and grow and have it invested and grow as long as you can, because that's what's going to turn into a nest egg for you, okay? If you're not able to leave that account and let it grow and be invested, then maybe this is an option that might not be for you at this time, but it's something you can keep in the back of your head, all right? Now that we've gone over 3 different types of retirement accounts and I've given you the benefits and the limitations of each, I want to give you why, in my opinion, it's a good idea to be invested in more than just your job's retirement account. Number 1, each retirement account offers a different stream of income. And the more streams of income we can have, the better. Number 2, since you have limited control about the funds that you're actually investing in your 401k, and you're being hit by custodial fees, you want to have a way to combat it. You do this by looking into opening one of the other accounts I spoke about in this video, and also maybe even opening up a taxable brokerage account. Taxable brokerage accounts may not be tax advantage, but they allow you to have more control, give you access to more investment options, allow you to save more money, not just for retirement purposes, and can give you a chance to earn passive income through dividends, and they will be higher dividends than what you will have in most likely your 401k account, okay? If you want to learn more about brokerage accounts and why you might want to open one, I've linked a video that I've done before, and I've linked that video to the end of this one. Another reason why you want to invest outside your job's retirement account is because depending on when you actually started investing in your job's retirement account, and also the amount that you actually put aside towards it, you may not have enough there. Now, it's really disheartening to hear that the amount of people who are going to be 75 and working will double in the next decade. Now, it's one thing if you want to work, that's great. But if you need to work, if we can prevent it now, this is something that we have to try to do. So if you want a comfortable retirement and you want to give yourself the best shot of retiring at 65 or even before, please do yourself a favor. Learn more about the investment accounts that I mentioned in this video. Please watch some more of our videos regarding financial literacy and investing, and also share this video with someone you care about. Until then, I'm Nicole, one half of the Wealth Twins. I really hope this helps, and I'll see you in the next video.